What is up, guys? It is AscendedDreamz bursting onto the scene with guidance to infinite love and access to positive energy. How's everybody doing today, man? We just out here in nature, just doing what we do best, connecting to you guys higher vibrationally. So how's everybody doing, man? Today, I got a very, very special message planned for you guys, all right? But first and foremost, I got to do what I do best by thanking each and every one of my beautiful and loving travelers who have been showing up and connecting to these messages, man. I know it's been a crazy journey, guys, but you guys have stuck it out with me, man. So from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate each and every one of you guys who are connecting to these messages. It means more than the world to me. So with that being said, guys, today's title of the video is going to be about how to do shadow work. What? Yes, so shadow work, guys. Shadow work is a super important part of the process when integrating all aspects of yourself and stepping into your highest truth and your highest nature. So with that being said, I'm just going to be giving you guys a few of the tips or a few of the tools that I've been able to utilize that have helped me engage further with this practice of shadow work, all right? So with that being said, guys, let's get right off into it, man. AscendedDreamz on the scene, Pashmina man on the scene. It's a good day, man. I'm feeling great. So with that being said, let's hop right off into it, guys. The first thing that has helped me to engage in the shadow work has been to release old addictions and bad habits, guys. And I know this is easier said than done, man. So I get it, guys. Trust me. So before I got on this spiritual awakening process, I actually realized that I was holding on to a lot of things that were no longer serving me, guys. I had addictions, I had bad habits, and I had things that were just not serving my growth as a human being here on Earth plane. You know, some of those things being, sex addiction, had pornography addiction, certain food addictions, and all sorts of different types of things that I was attaching myself to for comfortability, man. So oftentimes on the spiritual awakening journey, we believe that, we have to learn so much. We have to learn all this new information and pump our brain full of all this new information. And although information is good, it's oftentimes the things that we don't want to let go of that are keeping us stuck and weighted to this third dimensional reality. So it's about letting go of the things that no longer serve you, as opposed to filling up your hard drive or your mind with things that aren't necessary, guys. So seriously, for everybody, it's different. Everybody has different struggles and different battles, different demons. For me, like I said, it was sex, pornography, and I was trying to fill the void, guys, ultimately. So, there may be some of you guys who are struggling with temptation, struggling with these battles, with addictions. And I want you to realize that it's okay. This is a part of the work, guys. This is part of integrating your shadow, integrating the parts of yourself that are maybe less acknowledged, maybe more taboo, or considered more evil by society. But these parts of yourself are the parts of yourself that make you a whole being, okay? So, guys, it could be anything. It could be TV, it could be news, it could be a bad thought process that you are addicted to. But we must be willing to let go of these things if we wish to ascend and graduate to a new level of consciousness here as human beings, guys. So with this awareness, guys, number one, be willing to release old addictions and habits that are no longer serving you, all right? So moving off into number two, guys. Number two is acknowledge your traumas, okay? Acknowledge the things that you are on the run from, guys. So oftentimes we get traumatized in this life, man. Be it, losing friends, losing family members, going through heartbreak. It could be really any number of things, but these things oftentimes we kind of repress and turn our attention and focus away from in hopes that we can heal ourselves, in hopes that we can ignore all of those problems. But guys, it's important, let me tell you, to actually turn your attention and focus towards those things, towards those repressed traumas, towards those repressed emotions, towards those negative thoughts that you don't want to acknowledge, because only when you acknowledge something can you take the power away from it. What? One more time for those haters in the... So guys, by acknowledging whatever it is that you don't want to face, you are actually creating space for yourself to take the power away from it, guys. So again, I know this is easier said than done, but it's important. It's very important for you to acknowledge the things that you aren't so willing to face, because only then can you acknowledge your light. You have to acknowledge your darkness in order to acknowledge your light, okay? So that's why number two, guys, is acknowledge your traumas. Acknowledge the things that you have been through that have almost broken you, because you are still standing here today. you are still standing here today and nothing can stand in your way. So when you turn your acknowledgement to these things, you also remind yourself of how powerful you really are, guys. You remind yourself that you are a multi-dimensional being having a human experience and that you cannot be touched, okay? You are an infinite soul. You are an infinite being with infinite potential, right? So guys, that's number 2. Be willing to acknowledge and face those traumas, man. I know it can be tough, guys. I've experienced a lot of traumas myself. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost family members, and this can be very taxing on the soul, guys, let me tell you. It can be very, very taxing. But it's our responsibility to tune our attention to those things so that we can take the power away from said thing, right? So guys, that's number 2, man. Moving off into number 3. Lucky number 3. Be willing to own your shadow. What? Yes, so again, instead of rejecting the parts of yourself that are unfamiliar or unrecognizable to yourself, actually invite those things in, okay? Like, you never know. You might like death metal. You know, you might like to channel your aggression or your anger, the dark parts of yourself through certain means of expression that we have access to here on this earth, guys. So again, you might like death metal. You might like, you know, dressing in darker clothing. And this doesn't mean that you're not a light being just because you express yourself in those ways, guys. This actually means that you have brought yourself closer to expressing the parts of yourself that make you a whole, healed, fully supported being, right? So guys, that's why my third tip for you all is just to ultimately own your shadow. Embrace it, okay? Because you can't have one without the other. You can't have light without the darkness, okay? It just is what it is, guys. You have to have both. This is polarity. This is duality. This is the whole picture, guys. This is the sun and the moon, okay? So we see all these different examples of polarization and duality taking place in our external reality. And all of that is just reflecting of what is happening inside of us, guys. That darkness and light exists right here inside of you. And all of these examples that we see out in the world are just physical representation of the energy that already exists here inside of us, guys. So with that being said, man, it's the yin and the yang, okay? It's the yin with the yang. What? One more time for those haters in the... So guys, acknowledge the yin, acknowledge the yang, because that is when we become wholehearted, fully supported love beings, guys. So don't be afraid of the shadow, own the shadow, all right? So that's number 3, guys. Shifting right off into number 4. Number 4 is be willing to love yourself through your struggles and your suffering, all right? And I know you guys are like, what are you talking about, man? How do you do this? So we have to be willing to love our failures, our downfalls, and our obstacles with the same energy that we love our successes, our level ups, and our breakthroughs, guys. So I know a lot of you guys are like, man, what are you talking about? Love your failures and love your obstacles the same way you love your successes. But guys, again, without failures, without obstacles, without downfalls, you wouldn't have acknowledgement around how powerful of a being you truly are. What? Let me say it again. If you didn't have struggles, if you didn't have downfalls, you wouldn't have acknowledgement around how truly powerful and unique you really are, guys. So with that being said, the proof is in the pudding, man. You can't have the dark without the light. You can't have the light without the dark. This is where our eternal spark comes from. This is where our internal essence exists, guys. So love yourself. And guys, I'm still working on it too myself. Love yourself through the dark night of the soul. Love yourself even if you aren't where you want to be. Love yourself even if you make mistakes along the way. Because you are all you got at the end of the day, travelers. You. And it's important that you can forgive and accept yourself unapologetically, okay? That you can love and forgive yourself regardless of what mistakes you make, regardless of who it is that you are, okay? So, number 4, guys, love yourself through your struggle. Love yourself through suffering. Love yourself through your challenges, okay? And this is how you further your practice and dive deeper into shadow work, okay? So guys, with that being said, man, that is number 4, moving right off into number 5, all right? My 5th and final tip for how to engage in shadow work. So My fifth and final tip, guys, is express the shadow. All right, express the shadow, guys. I'm expressing my shadow every day through making music, through putting out videos, through, just expressing myself unapologetically, okay? And this is how we can actually integrate the shadow as opposed to repressing or suppressing the shadow, okay? So for me, guys, I'm a musician. I make darker music sometimes. I make heavy bass music, all right? That stuff that makes you feel dirty, that gets nasty, right? Like the shit gets real. But this is just the way that I express my shadow, guys. This is the way that I express those repressed, dark emotions that I have built up inside of me, guys. Because again, I'm not perfect, guys. I've been through a lot of traumas. I've been through a lot of negative situations that have played out here on Earth plane. But as opposed to being victimized to these circumstances, I use the energy in these circumstances, in these situations that have arisen, to alchemize the energy into something creative, into something that is tangible, that will help others heal and grow from. So you can do the same, guys. And you don't have to do it through music. You don't have to do it through YouTube. You might be a dancer. You might be a painter. You might be whatever it is you want to be, guys. Whatever it is you truly want to be or want to do can be used to express this shadow aspect of yourself, okay? So just find what that practice is to you, guys, seriously, because this will help you greatly emerge out of the other side of the spiritual awakening process, a fully supported and wholehearted, genuine, loving, light being, okay? Because again, you have to have acknowledgement around your darkness before you can truly acknowledge your own light. What? One more time for those haters and the So you have to have full acknowledgement of your darkness to be able to have understanding or understanding of your light, okay? So with that being said, guys, I hope this has helped you just to wrap your head around how you can utilize shadow work to become a greater version of yourself. And if you're new to the channel, man, and you want to connect to more messages like these moving forward, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that notification bell, because every click helps me to get to disseminate these messages to the beings who are in need right now. So with that being said, guys, it's AscendedDreamz. You already know what it is, family. Shout out to all the day ones. Shout out to everybody who's been sticking it out with me, man. You already know what it is, family. The word is love. I'm signing out. Peace.